Back, you hear the escort going off, K-band. We're on Route 66, just out of Edmond, Oklahoma, and heading up to Pops. You see the really cool architectural tubular steel structure on the right, and we're coming up to it. We're in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. They're redoing this entire road. They're making it a 4-lane. Route 66 here between Edmond and I think all the way out is a 2-lane road in Oklahoma anyway. But they're widening it only because the urban sprawl from Oklahoma City is all the way out to almost Chandler, which is about an hour away from Oklahoma City. So many people have moved to the country that this is about traffic. This is not about modernizing Route 66, but anyway, we're being radared, surveilled by someone. But we're gonna just pull in here for a minute. So you see the soda bottle, excuse me, soda bottle sculpture with the straw coming out the top. Kind of cool. We've pulled up and taken a picture of the Z next to it before, and really enjoyed it doing it too. It's just a really cool place to have a pic. We'll drive by here so you can see. So in the window of Pops, you see all the soda. Look at the amount of different, like I said, I think it's over 200 different sodas, and then we'll just pull back down this way so you can see the sculpture. We're gonna end up going back out. They're getting $4.29 for regular unleaded gas, which is 87 octane, which is called price gouging. 87 octane right up the street where I live, and I live in Oklahoma City, is $2.99 a gallon, and they're charging $4.29, just gouging the heck out of people. If you buy gas here, it's only because you don't know any better. People that are traveling Route 66, people from out of state, they don't know any better. They didn't do anything to deserve to be gouged. And so we're gonna cruise on down here. There's another landmark, Route 66 landmark down the street here, called the Red Barn. I did some homework on it. It was actually a hay barn back in, I want to say it was built in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s. We're being surveilled here. The radar detector going off, and we'll put that on mute. But it's 45 miles an hour basically from back there before Pops all the way to Chandler, which is it's a good hour. But you see what they're doing. They're widening the road. There's multiple lanes. Coming up here on the left-hand side, though, you're going to see the Red Barn, which a gentleman back in the 50s bought it and decided to refurbish it. It's pretty famous. We're going to kind of pull in right here so we can kind of take a look. I'll aim the car at it. We're in Arcadia, Oklahoma, but that's the Round Barn. I called it the Red Barn. It's actually called the Round Barn, but it is round. But it was basically sitting there in decay for many decades, and a gentleman, I do not recall his name, but I will do an update when I get back and pull up the info and tell you more about the Round Barn. But it was in disrepair. It was basically falling apart, and he just took it on himself with his own money to refurbish it, and it's become an iconic landmark. People that are traveling Route 66 from Chicago to Santa Monica, California, which is the entire length, come through here and they stop at the Round Barn. It's on all the maps. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, but it was an actual working hay barn back in the day, and now it is it's a tourist location. It's a landmark location on Route 66. So we're gonna pull back out and drive down just a little ways. We'll be turning around. We're not gonna drive all the way to Chandler and show you Route 66 Bowl, which is an amazing bowling alley with just memorabilia like crazy for Route 66. There's also a sign here on the left. Actually, it looks like a little water tower that says Arcadia, Oklahoma. Route 66. We also parked the Z in front of that, taking pictures. If you want chicken shack right there on the right, big doings at the chicken shack. We've cruised by here many times on a Sunday afternoon when we're out actually cruising the Z, not doing a road test on the wet pavement for the new tires, but actually just cruising to enjoy the cruise. And that parking lot is full, so we're out in the, we're not in the boondocks, but we're approaching the boondocks. It's Arcadia, where there's a lake called Lake Arcadia. Then Luther, Oklahoma, where my older brother and my up until they went off to college, my nieces and nephew and sister-in-law live. Then if you just keep on going on out, you'll get to Chandler, Oklahoma, to Route 66 Bowl, which is just phenomenal. It has road signs from basically every state, license plates from every state. The bowling alley itself is set up as with a Route 66 motif. It's just the coolest place ever. Also a place where we've parked in front of the front doors. They have I believe it's a Packard, maybe about a 50 era Packard car cut in half, and it's half, you don't see the other half. It looks like it's embedded in the building. But we park underneath it, and famous people have taken pictures of their cars there. Like, I don't know, Gene Simmons from Kiss was there the day before we were, the last time we went there and took pictures. The young guy that was managing said, "Do you know, have you ever heard of Gene Simmons?" And I go, "From Kiss?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "He was here yesterday." "Well, I've never heard of Kiss." And I go, "Yeah, they were kind of a big deal back in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, yeah, I know who they are." But he was traveling through and stopped. So I think I GoPro'd it at one point in time, but we're not going to cruise out that far. We're at the end of what we wanted to do here this morning. So we're going to find a place to turn around, head back out, and head back home, clean up Little Red, and post this footage. So it's not raining like we were, like probably we actually thought we would get into some rain at the end where it's actually coming down. Didn't want to be driving in it for long, but just kind of time the trip. So we were heading back home, and when it starts pouring down on us, get an idea how these tires perform in real, like, rain. Not just a wet road, which we're on now, but in actual rainy conditions. I think they're going to do great, but you never know. If the tread pattern is engineered such that they channel water away from the tire when you're driving on like an inch or more of water, which if it's raining on you, there's going to be water on the road. There's not time for it to seep off, and you'll be driving with standing water on the road. It's highly dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it, but you might be caught in it. And that's the whole idea of this kind of tech run, workup, kind of a tech run trip to test out these new tires in this element that we would normally never be in the Z. So we don't go to car shows in the rain. We might go to a car show and it might rain on us, and that's actually happened before. Early in the season, we went to a car show where the Z was completely disrespected and treated like it wasn't even there. It was the invisible car that gave out 10 trophies. There was only like 13, 14 cars in the show, and the Z did not win a trophy. It was a street elite 405, or I'm not sure what they call themselves, but I call them a bunch of nincompoops and jackasses, because this is a national winning show car, 6 times, 6 national titles. So I don't think it's just because I think it's a cool car. It is. it's validated on a national level, and these guys didn't think it warranted one of the 10 trophies they handed out. I wasn't in shock. I was PO'd. I just thought, okay, I won't go to any more of your events. They didn't even come over and look at it, so that they gave away specialty trophies. Basically, they were metal sculptures that looked like a junior in high school shop class project that went awry. They were not pretty trophies, but I would have liked to have one. And but anyway, it rained on us and downpoured on us, but we were actually parked. We were at the show venue location and parked under a tree when a hail storm actually came through. That wasn't predicted by the Weather Channel. So after that, I went to National Weather Service app only. I don't listen to anything the other weather services, local news, don't care. If the National Weather Service isn't saying it, I don't know about it, because they misled me and had my car out in the open. And a hailstorm happened that was supposed to pass well north of Oklahoma City. Well, it didn't. It happened on me, and luckily I found a really thick foliage tree and was able to pull under it before it was maybe pea size hail, but enough to damage the Z. Came down hard for probably about 20 minutes. There was hail and we were parked under a tree, but we weren't driving at the time. Now it's starting to rain, so it's a great time to head back. This is exactly what we thought was going to happen. It was going to start